Everyone, it's Miss Gwen from Shades of Development Out of School Time, and today I'm going to show you how to make a dandelion painting using a toilet paper roll and a little bit of paint. What you'll need for this activity is a piece of construction paper. I'm going to use black construction paper because I think it's going to make the dandelion show up a little bit better. I'm going to use an empty toilet paper roll. I'm going to need some paint, and I'm going to use white paint, and I'll need quite a bit of this. I will also need scissors and a paintbrush. So to get started, the first thing that you're going to do, I'm also using a piece of aluminum foil to hold the paint because it's going to, we're going to use a dabbing technique, and this will be easier to transfer the paint onto our toilet paper roll. The first thing that you'll need to do after you've gathered your supplies is to take your toilet paper roll and use your scissors very carefully and cut tiny little strips from the bottom. And you want these strips to be very close together. And we're going to cut about halfway up, making these little strips. And if you see, these strips are really little. They're very tiny. I've got two of them cut right here, and they're very thin strips. You don't want them really too thick because the dandelions look kind of wispy, and if you make your strips of the toilet paper roll too thick, then you are not going to get that wispy look that we're looking for. So about halfway up, very thin strips all the way around, and it's going to start to fray out when you push it like this, and that's what you want. I have one here that I've already completed, and you can see that I've cut it all the way around in little tiny strips, and then I have pressed down on my edges to kind of make it this pattern here, and this is going to be the pattern of our dandelion. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to get some paint, and I'm going to use my paintbrush, and I'm just going to pour actually quite a bit of paint out because this is going to take a lot of paint to get the right amount of coverage on our dandelion. So I'm just going to pour quite a bit of white paint out. And then I'm going to use my paintbrush, and I'm going to smear this out just a little bit, about the size of my toilet paper roll. So I'm going to spread it out. Make sure it's nice and globby and about the size of the toilet paper roll. And what we're going to do is we're going to dab our toilet paper roll into the paint. Let me see if I've got this wide enough. Looks like I probably do, maybe a little bit wider. I'm just going to eyeball to see if I've got, you want to be able to cover all this part of the paint onto your toilet paper roll when we start dabbing here in a minute. So I'm going to move this off to the side, and I'm going to dab my toilet paper roll into the paint. Make sure that we get it nice and coated. Lots of paint. And then we're going to start making dandelions on our black construction paper. And the reason why I chose black is because I really think that the black behind this white is going to really make it pop and really make it stand out. So I'm going to dab it down here, and just like how I picked up the paint, I'm going to put down the paint. And it's okay if they overlap. I'm going to do one over here as well. Maybe some more paint for that second one. Dabbing my toilet paper roll into my paint, really getting it globbed on there, and then we're going to dab it onto our black sheet of paper. I'm using wax paper underneath as a barrier to protect my work surface. And I like the way that looks with my dandelions right there. And what we're going to do next is use our paintbrush that has all this paint on it. We're going to kind of scrape off some of it and get a nice flat straight edge. Nice flat straight edge. And we are going to make the stems of our dandelions by starting right in the middle and just pulling it straight down. You might want to go over this a couple times, make that line nice and thick. And I'm going to use the flat end of the paintbrush and pull some paint straight down for my second dandelion. Give it a stem. A little bit more. You can dab it all the way down, make it kind of stand out a little bit. Give it some dimension. And now then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little bit of my paint and kind of give some wispies off of the dandelion to make it look like it's being blown in the wind. Just something real simple like this. It doesn't take much. Just a few off to the side. Makes it look like it's been blown in the wind. And when you're finished, you would have something that looks something like this. Isn't that cute? I love this. I think this is really neat. And it's a simple thing that you can do with just a little bit of white paint and a toilet paper roll. So thank you for watching, and be sure to follow Shades of Development on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.